Hey, it's James with BMonkey. Today we're going to cover generic iPhone cases, mainly silicone cases. Now they come in all different sorts of colors, almost every color of the rainbow. Green, yellow, orange, red, purple, you name it. Now these are not name brands, obviously. In fact, many generic cases don't even have a name or logo on them, hence the name generic. Now you may find some of them at local retail shops with store names on the packaging and a price that mimics that of a brand name. So when considering to buy a generic phone case, here's a few points to consider: price, quality, protection, design, and looks. Now when it comes to the price of generic iPhone cases, generally they range anywhere from a few dollars to anywhere upwards near $20. Now usually less. I would say most of them range between $15 and below. Now quality and protection, this can vary a lot depending on a few things. Usually you get what you pay for, but in many cases that is not always true. Now when looking at some of these, for instance the white one right here, as you can see, this is actually a see-through case. It is silicone. It's slightly thinner than many cases out there. Now it does offer the extra screen protection layer right here, but it does make for this home button right here to be a little bit deeper. So it does take some getting used to as far as having to press a little harder and further down to reach it. Now the volume rocker in this is actually covered, but everything else is pretty much fully exposed. Now with these thinner, flimsier cases like this, what you'll see in fact is a lot like this, some of the slack here. Now for me it just really seems like oil and dirt can really get into here, and with the see-through case that's white, it may add to some like tinting, browning, yellowing, whatever you want to call it. So not a real big fan of that, but again, this is a cheap generic case. And you'll see some of the cutouts. You may not be able to see it so much on this, but there's some almost excess material here. Maybe you can see it now. That I could probably just pull right off, but you know, it's not exactly well, I don't know how to put it really, but it's generic, right? There is some little clippings, you know, the cutting on here is not perfect, but that's what you get with a generic case. Now stepping up a little bit, I would say, in the generic category, this is a silicone case. Now it is a little bit tighter, as you can see. It's thicker. It does offer more protection. I wouldn't say pure or far drop protection, but some protection. If you're not really clumsy with your phone and every once in a while you do drop it, it'll be fine. Now with this one, the rocker and the sleeper button is fully covered here. Everything else pretty much fully exposed. Now what you'll see with many of these generic cases, not sure if you can see it here, is there some that excess cutout here. It's as if they had made the cutout and then decided to peel it off, and you still got some, you know, extra stuff here, and so it doesn't look, you know, it's not very clean, but again, it is generic. But as far as protection wise, it's not really that bad. I mean, you got the bezel on both of these, it is fully covered. There is a little bit of a lip, not much. I wouldn't say it's lay down safe. You probably could, but I never really recommend laying your iPhone down face first in the first place. So, but as far as general overall protection, it seems to work. Now when it comes to design with these, you know, as far as looks and everything, these aren't going to be the type of cases you see in the front of a catalog or case as being just really cool and wow factor. That's one thing you really do lose with most generic cases. On the back of this one, I have seen this being referred as wood grain, or just, you know, version 2 I believe is what I've seen it to be. So you know, it's a little something. So just because of that and a little more added protection, this may be a little bit more expensive than this one. But other than that, there's not too much for design and fashion. It's more just the general shape of it. But I would say that this one does offer more protection and some great value. So there are some good actual generic cases out there. I guess the hardest part is really just finding out which ones are actually good and for you. So if you're looking not to spend the big bucks on a case, you just need your basic scuff, minor drop protection, you know, maybe a generic case is good for you. We're going to go ahead and try to do some hard case coverage here in the near future too, just to go over the basics of a hard case and what to look for when considering a maybe budget priced hard case as well. So let us know what you guys think about it. If you've had any, I guess, tales or any complaints with some of these generic cases, feel free to comment below and let us know.